Okay then. Good day, everyone. It is my pleasure to be speaking with you today about the digital transformation that we are seeing happening in the credit union space. My name is Karl, and I'm a solutions architect with our credit union team at Amazon Web Services, which, again, you likely know by its abbreviation, AWS. I'm also joined by my colleagues who will be speaking, Sabrina Catruzzo and Brandon Phillips, who are also solutions architects within the credit union team, and they'll be discussing some of the customer and technical use cases that we're seeing credit unions use to revolutionize their technical stack on the AWS platform. Now, hopefully you all know what credit unions are. They've long been an important pillar of their communities. And perhaps some of you in the audience, including myself, are or have been a member of a credit union at some point. And at their core, though, just in case you don't know, credit unions are financial institutions. However, unlike a bank or a general fintech, they differentiate themselves by being member-driven. Now, often they will serve as local civil anchors, benefiting members through a high-touch support and engagement model. However, times have changed a little bit, right? We're no longer seeing people necessarily going into a physical branch to do banking. In fact, times have changed to the point where credit unions have had to evolve a little bit to meet the increasing customer engagement expectations of their members. And as we go into 2023, credit unions have much to think about given the economical and social trends that are happening. Again, consumers, as we mentioned, have much higher expectations and more choices as compared to even a decade ago. Fintech and global banks are dominating the financial market. Members now just want more personalized and seamless interactions. They want that with their preferred financial institution, or they will quite literally just take their money somewhere else. Further, recent volatility in the market has shifted the focus on operational resiliency. Customers not only expect that their financial institution work, but they want the financial institution to be available often 24/7, 365 days out of the year. Really, in other words, going down is just not an option. Next, many credit unions understand that they have a need to make better use of the data they are storing in-house in order to identify go-to-market opportunities. Without this data, credit unions will struggle to retain their members who will find other financial institutions who will cater to them more catered customer experiences. And last, credit unions need to protect their members. New forms of risk are constantly emerging, and being unable to adapt to them puts members at risk and the credit union's very viability into question. Now, in response to these trends, credit unions have been moving into the cloud. And in fact, according to a survey by CloudFirst, 41% of credit unions have already shifted solutions to the cloud, and the number continues to rise. Now, out of these, many choose to transform on the AWS cloud, which offers a lower cost of operation, increased scalability, improved speed to market, and greater availability compared to on-premises environments. And with AWS, we empower credit unions to differentiate themselves today and adapt to the needs of tomorrow through digital transformation, disaster recovery and business continuity, data lakes and analytics, and security and compliance. Now, in the realm of digital transformation, AWS offers credit unions services through which they can create richer experiences through a variety of mediums. As was mentioned before, contact centers would be one of them. Also mobile banking, and also ranging from a range of use cases from seamless digital onboarding to real-time transaction updates. AWS is also a great platform for credit unions to build disaster recovery and business continuity protocols. With AWS, institutions can protect themselves from going down without the expense of having another physical site, where whether it be an extension of your on-premises or your cloud workloads. Further, traditional infrastructures can no longer keep up with the business intelligence, member insights, and regulatory reporting credit unions need. To protect and manage their business's data, they build secure data lakes on AWS. And finally, with the increasing cybersecurity attacks across the globe, it's imperative for credit unions to protect their members' data. And as mentioned, right, security and compliance at AWS is job zero. And AWS provides many services to develop rules-based automated compliance and allows credit unions to address a number of regulatory requirements. Now, as you can see, right, the credit union ecosystem is complex, and credit unions have unique needs. So AWS has been investing in the credit union space for some time now. And we have been developing relationships with leading industry associations, including the National Association of Federally Insured Credit Unions, which is commonly referred to as NAFCU or NAFCU. In fact, I just learned that for this year, AWS received the 2022 Innovation Award from them. We have also been enabling customers to address regulatory frameworks and maintain a compliance-ready environment, such as with the Federal Financial Institutions Examination Council, National Institute of Standards and Technology, and the NCUA's Automated Cybersecurity Examination Tool. Now, for those looking to move into the cloud quickly, we have also internal specialists with our professional services and third-party partners with industry and technology experience that customer engage to define and implement a migration or compliance program. And also, finally, we have been investing in-house in industry experience. So the solutions architects, account managers, and customer solutions managers, many of them will include former regulators, compliance officers, information security experts, and the like. In fact, I'm happy to say that our investment in the industry has really paid off, as many credit unions have been very pleased with the transformation that they have been experiencing on the AWS platform. In fact, let me share with you one of those particular success stories. And I will talk about Mutual Credit Union here. So Mutual Credit Union had been using a patchwork of on-premises servers that were difficult to keep up to date, costing the company increasing amount of maintenance time. Now, in an industry which, as we mentioned, cybersecurity is a high priority, Mutual CU wanted to move away from the time-consuming and costly manual practices in order to boost and spend more time on security. So what Mutual CU did is turn to AWS's partner ThinkStack, a managed IT services CUSO, to help find a cloud solution for a more secure, customer-centric infrastructure poised to handle changes in the financial industry. And ThinkStack delivered just that. The migration was a success, and in the words of Michael Matthew, the president of Mutual Credit Union, since migrating to the cloud on AWS, we're able to provide services more efficiently and effectively, and our membership is more engaged with us. And today, Mutual CU is continuing to migrate its remaining on-premises infrastructure and re-architecting applications to unlock data. They plan to begin by modernizing a few of their key legacy applications integral to loan and account management processes. Again, that was just one use case. I have a couple more, but in order for the sake of time, we'll move along. Next, I will invite my colleague Brandon Phillips to discuss some of the more specific use cases for credit unions leveraging the AWS platform. Brandon, take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Karl. So since we've discussed the why credit unions are moving into the cloud, I want to take a closer look into what credit unions are building and using in the AWS cloud. To do this, let's dive a little bit deeper into the specific technologies we've noted that credit unions are leveraging to accomplish their transformations. So when credit unions consider their digital transformation, they often begin with migrations. Usually this begins with migrating one of their line of business applications using our AWS Application Migration Service, or MGA. This is often done to improve the customer experience and service, launch new market-facing applications, and automate manual back-office processes. If in-house AWS expertise is limited, a partner such as ThinkStack is brought in to assist with the migration. By migrating their infrastructure in AWS, credit unions benefit from integrating with over 200 fully featured services that our platform provides, and the increased security and compliance, as well as the operational resiliency. So when we talk to credit unions about achieving DR and disaster recovery and business continuity, we often discuss those in terms of their recovery time objectives and recovery point objectives. Usually, credit unions start simple by pushing backups into AWS. However, as they gain more confidence on the platform and start migrating those line of business applications we mentioned, we direct credit unions to use AWS Elastic Disaster Recovery to gain the best of both worlds in the terms of recovery point objective or RPOs and recovery time objectives or RTOs and achieve business continuity. So the service itself is pretty flexible, continuously replicating your workloads at the block level without performance impact, allowing you to remove idle recovery site resources. It further supports a variety of workloads, databases, and operating systems. So AWS DRS is also reliable. And so as mentioned, all of your data from your source servers is replicated to your AWS account. This continuous replication enables RPOs of seconds and RTOs of minutes. For IT disruptions caused by some ransomware, data corruption, accidental user error, or bad patches, you can use AWS DRS to recover your servers on AWS from a previous point in time. And finally, DRS is also highly automated. You need only a minimal skill set to set up and operate DRS, and there's a simple unified process to test, recover, and fail back all of your applications to AWS, which makes it easy to train staff who have basic IT skills. So when it comes to data lakes and analytics, credit unions have relied on traditional data infrastructures for decades, but traditional data solutions can't keep up with the volumes and variety of data financial institutions are collecting today. Often, this data is siloed, difficult to find, and it's not readily available for consumption. So a cloud-based data lake such as AWS Lake Formation helps financial institutions store all of their data in one central repository, making it easy to support compliance priorities, realize cost efficiencies, execute risk assessments, and better understand customer behavior. So once your data lake is established and proper data governance is implemented, we recommend credit unions take advantage of machine learning. So with Amazon SageMaker, credit unions are able to build, train, and deploy machine learning models for any use case with fully managed infrastructure, tools, and workflows. This often takes the form of improving customer experience and building out models to determine the best methods to engage members through campaigns. In addition to these use cases, machine learning is used for compliance, surveillance and fraud detection, document processing, pricing, and product recommendations. So lastly, let's touch upon security and compliance. Now, as we said before, security is job zero, and we could spend much of our time simply focusing on security on AWS. But one of our primary services we've seen our credit union customers launch within the past year is Amazon Guard Duty. And Amazon Guard Duty is a threat detection service that continuously monitors your AWS accounts and workloads for malicious activity and delivers detailed security findings for visibility and remediation using machine learning. It allows you to receive security event findings with context, metadata, and impacted resource details to determine their root cause. In fact, if you're a credit union, you're currently using AWS and you haven't launched Guard Duty, I definitely recommend that you take a look at the service and talk to our team about launching it into your account. So once Guard Duty is enabled, credit unions often begin leveraging our security posture management service, AWS Security Hub. The service allows you to automate security best practice checks, aggregate security alerts into a single place and format, and understand your overall security posture, your services of your services across AWS. It integrates with Guard Duty as well as an array of other security services such as AWS Macie for PII scanning of your data and Amazon Inspector for further vulnerability detection. With the addition of PCI DSS controls compliance checks, we have seen credit unions further increase their use of the service and improve organization-wide compliance views to take action on any threat concern in their environment. So these are just a small sample of the most common AWS services our dedicated AWS credit union team has identified during the course of our customer interactions. Next, I'll invite my colleague, Sabrina Catruzzo, to briefly discuss the ways our credit unions interact with our AWS partners, as well as leverage our marketplace solutions. Take it away, Sabrina.
One of the things, Sabrina, a lot of this commentary, they keep emphasizing, quite appropriately, credit unions, but the same approach is applicable to a variety of other financial services institutions, as well as organizations in general. So as people are listening to this and have different roles outside credit unions, you want to just take to heart the methodology and the approaches, and while still understanding that's the focus of this team. All right, all yours, Sabrina.
Thanks, Ron. So talking about our AWS partners and marketplace solutions for credit unions, many credit unions come into the AWS cloud with varying levels of expertise. Some desiring to develop in-house cloud capabilities and skills opt to build on our cloud platform themselves. However, we understand that this might not always be the case, and it might be necessary to bring in outside assistance to begin the digital transformation within your credit union. So as a result, what we've done is we've created the most extensive partner network out of any cloud provider, and we have partners that focus on assisting credit unions in various domains. So just to name a few, we have Alchemy, Glia, and Casisto that focus on things like digital member engagement. Then we have ThinkStack, SecondWatch, and Cloudhesive that focus on migrations. Partners like Architecture and Tibco are useful for data analytics. And then we also have AppGate and AlertLogic for security. But no matter what your needs are with the variety of partners AWS has, you do have the ability to identify the right partner to address the current needs of your credit union. Finally, we also understand that credit unions have developed their own technical expertise on certain services, such as Veeam or VMware. It might not want to switch to AWS native services completely. So for this, we have partnered with various technology providers to build out solutions within the AWS marketplace to provide credit unions the ability to transform themselves on the AWS cloud on their own terms. Some of the most common solutions we see in this space are Veeam for backups, Splunk for enterprise observability, and VMware for infrastructure virtualization. And that's all that we had for you all today. We hope that you learned about how credit unions are evolving on the AWS platform, and that the customer success stories we highlighted regarding credit unions making the jump from on-premise environments into AWS have resonated with you. We also hope that you got a sense of the native AWS services credit unions tend to build on to accomplish things like digital transformation, incorporate disaster recovery and business continuity into their organization, develop data lakes to gain insights on data, as well as improve their security posture on the AWS cloud. And finally, we hope you got a sense of the extensive support AWS offers, which consists of our internal AWS Solutions Architect team, our AWS Partner Network, and the AWS Marketplace solutions that we have put in place to see credit unions succeed on AWS. We do have our contact information here on the slides, so please feel free to take note of them, reach out to us, and transform with AWS today.